Hi everyone, welcome to, I think it's the 6th art class since lockdown. Thrilled to see you all today. Oh, hang on, sorry, another problem. Hang on. Oh, I've just got to turn my phone off because it was coming through. You know how daft I am with my technology. Anyway, today we've got a fantastic model, the well-known actress Michelle Collins, who I've known for a very long time. Before she was even a proper actress, she was a singer when I first met her. And she's going to keep one pose, but I think you're going to see it's a really fantastic pose. It's the setting's really enjoyable. And so it's up to you. Do one long picture, lots of little pictures, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. And I'm not sure who's on here, but I know it's a couple of people who usually do its birthday today. So that's Joe Gell and David Daniel Wilkie. So if you're watching already, happy birthday. And it's my friend Jimmy's birthday, and he bought me this for my birthday. So I thought I'd wear it specially, but I don't know if he's there. But I've just done a terrible thing. The door went, and it was a bunch of flowers that I'd ordered for Jimmy for his birthday. But I forgot to change the address, so they came to me. So if you are watching Jimmy, I'm terribly sorry, but I feel quite pleased with myself. So I'd like a nice bunch of tulips. But anyway, let's go ahead and see Michelle.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle. How are you feeling?
A bit nervous.
Oh, don't be, honestly, because people are ever so kind and they're really friendly and they do fantastic pictures. Oh, let's just say hello to a couple of people. Hello, Donata. Oh, hello. Princess Julia's there. Hello.
Hello.
Joe Culver, who I only met the other day. I haven't met her in real life, only online.
Right.
David Braysher, hello. He lives round the corner. Oh, Despo, she's one of my regular things. Oh, Tracy, hi. There's David Daniel Wilkie, the birthday boy. So happy birthday.
Does he know what's happened to his flowers?
No, that's another one. That's another one's birthday. Oh, hi, Mel, and happy birthday for tomorrow. Hi, Debbie Darlings. Oh, she thinks we're very glam. Is Ruth Herring a friend of yours?
Hello, Ruth. Yes, she is.
Donald Urquhart, he's a fan. He'll do a brilliant picture of you. See, he's a proper artist. He's had gallery exhibitions and everything.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it'll be fan. Hi, Jennifer Corker, Amelie. Oh, Despo saying you look amazing.
I hope I've created a nice little space here for people and made it quite colourful.
Tom Marshman, hi. Oh, Julia, love Adam. Oh, everyone's on. It's fantastic. Oh, Adam and Andrew, they only live up the road.
Hello, I think I've met Adam and Andrew.
Oh, I bet you have, yes. They had about 10 different weddings. It was very enjoyable. They're very nice. Right, so if you want to start drawing, we'll start
So
chatting.
I'm going to try, I'm going to breathe in and try and stay in this. Is this position okay?
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Okay.
And look, she's lucky she's got Marilyn round her house as well.
What's the trick, Sue? That you know about all this? What's the trick to keeping still?
I used to play games in my head, but because you've got me to talk to, you won't be able to do that.
Okay, all right.
So just chat. But honestly, if you move a little bit, it's like, because what people can do is take a screenshot.
Oh yes, that's a good idea.
And then you don't have to worry. And also, I don't know if you can pull the screen out so you can see closer. It depends what sort of phone or what you're watching on. Right. Now, Michelle, let's talk about the first time I met you. I think it's when I lived in Kentish Town, didn't I?
You did.
And we used to have those big parties.
Yeah. And
weren't you...
Didn't you live with someone called... Didn't you live in a house with quite a few people? Or a flat?
Yeah.
Is it Johnny Robinson?
Johnny Britton.
Johnny Britton, that's it.
Who? I had
very handsome Johnny Britton.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about him for years. Then someone bizarrely out of the blue sent me his webpage. So he's doing guitar lessons now. So he's still about.
Oh, really? He's still alive there?
Yeah, I know. I'm a bit surprised. It's a terrible thing to say.
Mustn't laugh
at the time, weren't you working at audience selection or something? Where everyone
I was working at audience selection in between sorts of acting jobs. Yeah, and in those days, audience selection, it was a market research company. and you used to do sort of like 4 5-hour shifts, and it was all cash in hand, and everybody who worked there was probably an artist or an actor or a musician or a painter. So actually it was fun, but it was also really, in fact, I met so many people there that I'm still friends with today, actually. And,
so many of my friends work there, and then what they used to do, they used to ring me up because they knew I'd always answer the phone and answer the surveys. The surveys were such rubbish. There'd be things like, have you heard of Marmalade?
Funny. Mike is just flashing at me. Now he's gone upstairs. He's gone to watch crap television. So yes, go away. So I always remember, so they'd have like a pool of people that were on their list. And then sometimes you had to ring people out of the blue, like cold calling, which was really horrible. But I remember saying, at the end of it, it was like one about how many sausages do you eat? How often do you have sex? How old, and who do you vote for? And they were fine about all the questions. The one they didn't want to tell me was who they voted for. It was bizarre. Yet they'd tell me how often they had sex and how it was the most. I mean, it was the most funniest place. But yeah, it was great fun. And I think I did it on and off for a couple of years, you know, in between sort of acting jobs. Were you working at the job centre then?
I know, so I was a bit jealous because I wanted to work at audience selection, but I couldn't really fit it in. What with my other job and going out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we did travel out a lot in those days, didn't we?
Yeah, all the time.
Life was a permanent hangover, really. But because we were all so young, we just all dealt with it, didn't we?
I know. I used to get up and go to work and everything. I remember sometimes, actually, I was seeing a customer and I had to run off. Oh, sorry, I've got to go and pick up a form. Really like to go and be sick. It was terrible.
And is it really true? See, I'm interviewing you now. Is it really true that you worked with
Dennis, do you mean?
Dennis Nilsson?
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't really work with him, but I did meet him.
Didn't he work at the job centre?
Yeah, he worked at the one where I ended up working in Denmark Street. And you had to go to other job centres for meetings or something.
Oh, okay.
And I remember going in this room, and my woman, who was the manager at the time, she went, "Oh, this is Des." So I went, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." Or Den.
At the Woodland Park in Muswell Hill.
Yeah.
Via another friend. But they've just done a drama about it with David Tennant playing him.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I look forward to that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure I'd really want to see that, but interesting that David Tennant's playing him. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So he wasn't like your best friend or anything?
Oh, no. I only met him the one. But then years later, I worked at that same job centre in the same room where he used to work. And it was really weird. People who'd worked with him would never really talk about it because they were really properly freaked out. Yeah. And then there was all these scrapbooks with the story of Dennis Nilsson.
Yeah.
But they always kept me away from them because they knew I'd probably just tell people about them.
And were you doing your art posing in those days? When did you start?
No, not till about
modelling.
1994 or 3. Well, I didn't go out so much, so I fitted that in. But I still worked at the job centre. So I used to work for 2 years. I never had a day off work. So I worked every weekend. So I think in 2 years, I had about 5 days where I didn't go to some sort of work.
So
not like now.
At weekends?
Yeah. So I worked at the job in the week and Lucian at weekends. And then if I had a day off work, he used to beg me to go and work for him.
Lucian
so all my days off, working for him.
So when you say working, you mean modelling?
Sitting, sitting. Lying around.
What did is that? So what did you used to call it? Sitting.
Yeah, posing. Oh yeah, I don't know what I used to do. I just say I'm going there. I didn't really.
Did you used to say I'm a model? Did you used to say I'm a model?
No, because I don't think I'm a model. I suppose I am, but
you
know,
are. Life model.
Yes, I'm not doing that again though. Now and then I remember bumping into you. Oh, another thing at party I remember. She used to be a singer for Mari Wilson, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And how was that?
Pardon?
How was that? Because we're on top of the pops, weren't we?
No. Actually, I wasn't on top of the pops. I should have been. But so I'd been with Mary probably for about a year or something, and we'd recorded a few tracks and we'd gone on tour, and we were getting to be sort of quite successful. Anyway, to cut a long story short, she decided that, so we recorded the Just What I've Always Wanted, and then the next thing we know, she basically got rid of us all. And yeah, she got rid of us all. And it's fine. We're friends now, you know. But it was a bit of a kick in the teeth at the time, I must say. I was very, very surprised. And so I think that was the hardest thing, actually, was watching, you know, suddenly that song came out and they did really well. And it sort of felt like we'd done all the hard work. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And suddenly somebody else was on top of the pops, replacing me, and when I was only 19, that was very tough to see, actually.
I can imagine. I'd be livid.
Yeah, I was quite upset, I must say. But you know what? In a way, Sue, I always think that, especially when you're young, you know, success comes out of failures at the end of the day. And if you get a knockback when you're quite young, you learn to deal with it in a way. And I never set out to be a singer, or particularly a backing singer. So in a way, it did me a favour. So, and I knew that I really wanted to act. So it sort of gave me that push that I needed, because I probably would have been comfortable and stayed in the band for a long time, you know. And I was never really that content to be in the background all the time, you know. Yeah. And it was very much Mary's show, even though we all had a great time. But you know what? I don't regret it. It was one of the most fun times of my life. And you know, I remember playing Dingwalls. You know, everyone knows Dingwalls, don't they? You know, and we were supporting Kid Creole and the Coconuts. And I tell you what, he's got a lot of coconuts. He did have a lot of coconuts. So I don't know if they're all legitimate coconuts, but he had a lot of women around him.
I know. I know several who've been there, I think.
Yeah, there was loads of us. There were 12 of us. There were 9 blokes and 3 girls. And then Kid Creole and all his coconuts all in one dressing room. I tell you what, it was very interesting. And that was fun. And I remember, like, we did a lot of student unions up and down the country. We played at the Hacienda in Manchester, Eric's in Liverpool, which was great fun. We played, do you remember the venue in Victoria? Yeah. That was a great venue. We played with Altered Images there. We played with Squeeze. I mean, tons. We did the David Essex Showcase. I mean, we did loads of stuff. But it was, you know, I was only 18. And, you know, the most I ever got was 30 quid a week. But we didn't do it for the money, you know. And everyone used to come around my mum's place, and she used to feed us all. We never had any money. You know what it was like in those days, but we just had a lot of fun. I know. How we managed it on like twopence a week, I don't know, but we still did. And all our clothes, we either bought, you know, second hand, and of course now vintage. Everyone's vintage, but in those days we didn't actually have the money to buy clothes, so we'd all go down Camden Market or the charity shops to buy our clothes, because that's all we could afford. Or knock them up ourselves. Or make them ourselves, or get, you know, a friend's mum to make them. I remember as we got a bit more successful, I managed to buy a dress in Kensington Market, a velvet dress which cost quite a lot of money then, probably about 30 quid. And the zip broke when I was on stage in the middle of a song, and my dress sort of came completely out, and it was a bit hairy at the time, but I think people found it quite funny. But it was a Janet Jackson moment. It was one of the best experiences of my life, and the funniest thing was, you know, being in a white transit van up and down the motorway, and bumping into like Bananarama and a Little Chef or Annie Lennox, or, you know, and we all sounds like thrilling. What? Sounds thrilling. I think I'm a bit jealous. I think that's the life I always wanted when I was young. But on the roads. Well, after a while, you and you know, and staying in the most awful B&Bs that was such a laugh, though. Yeah, I mean, I would not, you know, I just had such a great time. I really, really did, and I'm so glad that I had that experience, because it's all very different now, isn't it? You know that. Oh, sorry, I've just got a question. Sorry to interrupt. Okay. From Robin Bruce. Did you sing with Squeeze at one of their many farewell gigs at the Lyceum, maybe 82? Yes, we did. Oh, did you? We supported them. Amanda Brown climbing out of the hotel window in Liverpool to go clubbing with Pete Burns. Hi, Amanda.
Is that Amanda, the girl who used to be singing with you in Mari Wilson?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
her.
She was called Mandy Metro. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I last
Very
saw her
tall.
in Heaven about 40 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's Mandy. That's Amanda. We're still friends since, that's how long we've been friends. Yeah. Yeah.
David
we had
Brayshaw, he worked at Audience Selection.
Who did?
David Brayshaw.
Oh, really? Yes.
Do you remember him?
Well, the thing is, in those days, we all changed our names too.
That's true, yeah.
We all, because it was all cash in hand and stuff. So you couldn't, for some reason, everyone changed their names. I don't know why. So a lot of people had different names then. But I would know him if I saw him. If I saw his face, I'm sure I would.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, he lives in London, but he's just got a flat round the corner here as well. Another one moved here.
Oh,
everyone moving here.
I want to move to.
Everyone loves it here.
It's going to be too expensive soon, isn't it?
I know. Well, what about that party on Mari Wilson's boat? That was hilarious.
That was my boat.
Oh, was it your boat?
It was my boat.
On the
boat. So it wasn't my boat, but it was me that rented that boat, found that boat, and got all my flatmates to share that boat. It was crazy, wasn't it? Oh my God. And it looked amazing, but it was freezing, it was damp, it was like, oh my God. I mean, the electricity would just go and the middle of, but I remember that was a really brilliant party. I had such a great time on that boat.
But did the toilet flood or something? But
yes.
We didn't care, did we? We couldn't care less.
It flooded the night of the party, didn't it?
Yeah.
And then one morning,
plungers.
Pardon?
I remember people with plungers.
Oh my God. I mean, I can't believe you were at that party. That was probably one of the best parties ever. And I remember everyone in their stilettos trying to get across the gangplank.
I know.
Which had massive holes in the slats and everyone was falling down. And oh my God. Do you know that boat is still there? Really?
Where is it moored?
So it's so in those days, so it's Battersea. Battersea was very different then. It was like it was quite, edgy, slightly run down, and so it was the opposite side to Cheney Walk. So Cheney Walk is the posh side where all the posh boats are.
Yeah.
And if you standing on Cheney Walk and you looked opposite, there were like 3 boats were moored, and it was called Swan Dock. It was at the end of Battersea Church Road. And that's where they were. We were the poor side of town, but we had the good view. We had Cheney Walk.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's where it was, and they're still there, and I think they're still rented out.
Really?
Yeah, and we paid quite a lot of money actually for that boat. It was more the novelty actually of living on a boat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
And I remember one day waking up and the gangplank had disappeared.
Oh no!
Oh yeah, we were stranded. We were out on the river.
So what did you do?
On the Thames. We couldn't get back in. And we're all supposed to be going to work. We had no phone, and we had to shout across to somebody to come along and help us to get back in. It was, oh my God, it was crazy. It was very funny. I think I lived there for about 8 or 9 months. Oh, wow, I can't believe you came to that boat. That's so funny.
I did. With Rick. Wow. Do you remember Rick's who used to share my flat as well?
Yes, yeah.
He lives in Glasgow.
Were brilliant, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. Right, now I'm going to remember.
I get so many people who say, oh, I wish I was in the 80s. I wish I grew up in the 80s.
I know.
In the 80s.
We were lucky.
We were very lucky, actually. Yeah, we were.
I remember bumping. Is there any messages, by the way, while we have to change the subject? Anyone? Katie, any messages from anyone? Oh, Robin Bruce once saw Bananarama live at the Commonwealth Institute. Well, Robin Bruce, Siobhan's been in this very sitting room. And her sister. Well, her sister doesn't live far away, so she often comes down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think she lives in. Last time I saw her was in LA. She lives in LA, doesn't she?
Oh, yeah, and Jackie's been round here as well.
Oh, is Jackie? I haven't seen Jackie for years.
Oh, she's very well. She's doing online yoga during this. She's loving it.
Is she?
Yeah.
So what did she do after Bananarama? Did she have...
Oh, she worked in some casting agency and then did yoga. But then this summer, she used to be in a band before Bananarama. She was in a band called the Shillelagh Sisters.
That's it.
And someone booked for them to play in Las Vegas, and she was so excited and so thrilled. And then, of course, it's not on now.
Oh no! So this was recently she was supposed to go.
Yeah, it was meant to be probably, next few weeks. So but she's very stoic. She gets on with it,
Yeah. Well, I was doing a Harold Pinter play, the birthday party, which was a 3.5-month tour going all around the country, a national tour. And we literally rehearsed for a week. And then we went back the second week on the Monday. And that's when we got the call in the evening to say, don't bother coming in. That's it. Cancelled.
Oh, awful, isn't it? All these things half done, half made.
I know. So that won't, I think maybe some things that were actually fully rehearsed, we'd only done a week. So, it's totally cancelled. But, it may go on, I don't know, who knows, the end of next year or so. And then I was doing a play in Edinburgh which I'd created and was a one-woman show. And of course, that was cancelled as well.
Oh, no, what was that about?
That was called Motorhome Marilyn, about somebody who's a Marilyn Monroe impersonator.
Oh, yeah.
Who lives in LA, went to LA to become an actor, but it never really happened. And she ended up becoming a Marilyn Monroe impersonator and still is a Marilyn Monroe impersonator in her 50s, but has personality disorder and actually thinks that she sees Marilyn Monroe. So it's an idea that I had, and I worked with a writer, and we made it into a one-woman show. And she lives in a motorhome, literally travels around in a motorhome.
Yeah.
It's a great story, isn't it? So,
yeah, sounds brilliant.
But I think more people are going to be wanting monologues, because obviously you can work on your own. You don't have to worry about social distancing. I mean, that's the thing with theatre. Because I was saying to you, I came to Hastings to do the panto a couple of years ago, and I loved being there. But I'd be very surprised if theatres are up and running by Christmas. It's going to be really tough.
Because that's the most, especially that one, you're really squashed in together, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know how people are going to do it. The big ones possibly, but, the small ones, it's just not going to be worth their while financially opening for
10
people to come and see a show.
Yeah,
it's so people. I think it's a very creative, innovative time, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think they've just done all those Alan Bennett monologues again that are going to be on the telly, and the actors have just filmed.
Yeah, they're doing those, aren't they? That's coming through the Bridge Theatre.
Yeah,
and that's posh. That's all posh. It's the same old faces, Sue, as well.
Always there.
And it's the smaller theatres that I feel sorry for. That aren't going to be able to, and a lot of the small London fringe theatres, which I've done a lot of work, like the Park, Southwark Playhouse, the Arcola, those sort of places that are probably really going to suffer. And a lot of actors are going to really suffer. I mean, I know, this is the time where lots of people have lost their work, and a lot of people have lost family and relatives. But, to lose jobs as well is also, it's really tough and can make people very anxious. And it's very difficult times for people. And I feel sorry for young actors who are just starting out as well, because a lot of actors supplement themselves by doing other jobs, restaurants, bars, that sort of thing.
And they can't do them,
and they can't even do that. So what are they going to do? So I'm actually starting up a fundraiser to raise money for a benevolent fund for actors. Because I think everyone thinks actors are really wealthy and rich, and they're always on the telly, but it's not the case.
I know.
Probably, most 90% of actors are out of work most of the time, and probably the average actor earns 25 grand a year. People think they earn a fortune, and they don't. It's only a few of them that do. You know a lot of actors, and so people think, they'll be all right, but actually no. But also, our industry brings a massive revenue into the country. I mean, huge, like billions to tourism into this country. So people mustn't forget it or ignore it.
Oh.
But it's a tough time for everyone. But this is brilliant that you've come up with this. I think
We love it. Well,
it's
really,
great.
Do you know my friend Wayne Shires?
I've met Wayne. I think I met him when I was in Hastings.
Oh, I think you probably met him, the art gallery or something. But he's got a pub here now, opposite that art gallery. And
right.
So it was his art and his manager, George. It was their idea for me to do the art classes. And then it all kind of turned, because I used to do them live at the pub every week. And they were very subscribed. But this is brilliant because we can have as many people as we like doing this.
So that pub wasn't there when I was in Hastings?
No, hadn't opened then.
Oh, so I mean, I love it. I'm terrible. I can't paint or draw to save my life. I'm absolutely dreadful. In my art class at school, I used to really love it because the teacher would let us listen to the top 40 on the radio.
Thrilling.
Do you remember between 12 and 1:30, the top 40 on Radio 1?
I used to write it down in a book.
Yeah. So I used to pretend to paint or draw or do something, but I was absolutely dreadful, and I still am.
Sure, you won't be. If I see your work,
so I really admire people who can paint or start to. Who is it that Timothy Spall has started to paint, hasn't he? Because he just played Lowry, didn't he? Before that, he played Turner. Yeah. And now he's really got into painting, and he's having an exhibition, I think, sometime in September.
Yeah.
Realised he could paint. Do you think anybody can paint?
Yes. And often, but in my classes, I never teach, my live class, I never teach people how to draw, how to paint, because then everyone ends up painting the same. So I love that people just do exactly as they please. And because people are locked in, they haven't got good materials. People have been using lipstick, they've been ketchup to draw with, and then there's another lady. She always does embroidery of the pictures afterwards. They're fantastic.
Wow.
And then people do collage, or they do them on a computer, because people say, "Oh, you're cheating." Quite often when I do pictures, I trace them because. Why not? Cameras, if you want a fantastic representation, there's a camera there now.
Yeah.
But so I think it's good to have your personality in your pictures. So I'd tell everyone, never be ashamed.
Where would you suggest I start then if I wanted to start drawing?
Well, you can come on next week.
Maybe I should. I might try. I might give it. Do you know what I think it is? It's very personal, isn't it? And who's to say that? Because who's to say that art is what is good and what isn't good?
Exactly.
It's very subjective, isn't it?
And I've been looking at one of my exhibitions. I copied famous paintings, and I realised I copied famous. Oh, it's a bit crackly.
It is, isn't it?
It's gone crackling.
It's gone now.
Oh, good, yeah. And I realised that great artists, they can't draw hands very well or anything. You just have to give an impression of the hand. You don't have to draw a fantastic hand like Leonardo da Vinci did.
Right.
That's enough. It's just colours and shape and what's going through your head. Who
do you love artist-wise?
I love Matisse.
Right, yeah.
Quite like David Hockney. I just like anything bright and reasonable. I don't mind some abstract, but I prefer something to look like it. Something with
Have you met David Hockney?
I have once, yeah.
I stayed in that house, I stayed in his house in LA.
Oh, did you? What was that like?
Yeah,
was he there?
He was there, and he lived up in the hills. And a friend of mine took me, and we went. We had lunch, and I always remember he had 3 houses, like one for him, one for his cook, and one for someone else. I don't know who the other. I'm not sure who he was, a friend or something. He was very nice, but he'd just had a heart attack. And so he bought himself a running machine. So he spent all this time, he said, we'd have lunch. And I always remember I was really shy. And I didn't want to say I don't like chicken, I'm a vegetarian. I was too nervous. So I basically ate it.
Oh, no.
Because I just felt really bad that he'd made his chef had made this beautiful lunch. And I was I'm not that intimidated by many people, but I was a bit intimidated, a bit in awe. And then my friend Paul, who sadly died since then, Paul Cottingham, he took me there. He said, go go and stand by the kidney-shaped pool. Go and stand by the kidney-shaped pool. He might paint you. And but he didn't, obviously. But I obviously saw the window and everything where Celia Birtwell, you know, because obviously she's
amazing.
And but it was amazing to be there, and he was a really nice. Well, you know what he's like. He's just really funny and really down to earth, isn't he? And he told us that story about when his mum met Michael Caine and she didn't know who he was, and said, "What do you do then?"
Hilarious.
Like,
I
act a bit sometimes.
Hello. Do you know Sarah J. Morris?
Yes, hello.
She's saying hello. She only lives around the corner.
Wow, Sarah Jane. She's got a brilliant voice.
I know. Well, she's got a live show on Wednesday from her house.
Has she?
Yes.
Oh, when this is all over, Sue, I need to come to Hastings, and you need to have a sort of get together where we go to.
Oh, I will. Don't you worry.
Huh?
Oh no, I'd love you to come down. I love it. Everyone loves it down here. They love visiting.
I know. That's why I really enjoy working there, and obviously I know Yvette very well. Yvette's a very, very old friend. No, are you really glad you made the move?
Oh, best thing I ever did. It's like, now look, we're whizzing through the time, and I think there's something we have to discuss. I remember.
Do you know what? I'm going to just move for 2 seconds and take, because I think it's the charger in the phone that's making it crap.
Oh, all right.
Just move for a second.
Yeah.
And let me just take it out, because I think that's what's doing it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, well.
That's better. Oh, no, maybe not. What was Sarah Jane's band?
Communards she used to be in, didn't she?
That's it, the Communards. But she did a lot of solo stuff, didn't she?
Yeah. I'm not really sure.
Hi, Sarah.
And yeah, I said she lives round the corner. Oh, if she'd come to our get together, because she lives next door to David Brayshaw, who worked at Audience Nelson, but they've never met.
But I think that's what this thing is making us feel, that we want to see all our friends again so much, and how we all want to connect again.
I know.
You realise how important it all is, don't we?
Of course. I miss my friends a lot. It's very. But the thing is, I've spoken to loads of friends I haven't spoken to for ages because they're bored. So just come and have a chat. It's nice.
And I think it makes you realise, and I've been speaking to friends that I haven't spoken to for a long time, because you take it for granted that they're always going to be there.
Exactly.
Like, I've got a friend in New York that, you know, and also Mandy, you know, Amanda.
Yeah.
She lives in Spain. She's got a restaurant in Valencia with her husband, which they run a very small restaurant, and obviously they've been affected by the lockdown because they haven't been able to open. So we've sort of created a little North London posse group. And so, you know, we're all speaking a lot more than we're used to. And I hope we all keep that up, because it's so important.
Oh, that's lovely. Now, I think we need to discuss a certain programme. So I remember I bumped into you in Fred's, and I was with Kenny MacDonald, and you were so excited because you said you've got a job in EastEnders. And funny enough, Kenny MacDonald's brother was in EastEnders. I think he was
Kenny MacDonald.
His brother, Darren, was his name Darren? Yeah, you know, the black guy used to always wear the thing on his head in it.
Who's that? What thing?
I don't know. Keep his head black. I don't know what they're called. I think
Gary MacDonald.
Gary MacDonald, yeah.
Yeah, I still see Gary. Gary lives in LA. Yeah, he's a lovely
brother sometimes. So, were you excited when you got that job? Was it a big audition process?
Well, I'd originally gone up for EastEnders for the role of Punk Mary, which I didn't get. Yeah, 3 or 4 years before, and it was called E8 then.
Yeah.
And sorry, I keep touching my head because I don't want it to get in my eyes. And so I didn't get that, and then I was working. I did a play for the BBC, and one of the writers who wrote the play I was doing was also a writer on EastEnders, and he said, "I think you should meet Julia Smith. I think she'd really like you." And I was like, "Oh no, I've already auditioned for it." And EastEnders was getting quite big then, and I'd also did the sort of the opposition soap on the other side called Albion Market. I don't know if anyone remembers
you've done that. Oh, you've been busy with the soaps.
I was in Albion Market, even though it wasn't really a soap, it was a serial. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then, and I played the girlfriend of a stall holder. And anyway, so I did this other job where I can't remember what it's called. It was a play, and I played a motorbike dispatch rider or something.
Oh, yeah.
And which was quite unusual in those days for a woman to be a motorbike dispatch rider. Real ballsy sort of role. And then I got called to go and see Julia Smith for this role, and it was originally 11 episodes. And she told me about it, and then she said, "So, do you want to do it?" Literally in the office.
Yeah.
You know, I just was sitting, and I said, "Do you want me to do it?" She went, "Yes, you've got the role. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so. Yeah." And then she said, "Do you want to meet all the others? Do you want to go down and meet everyone?" And I went, "No, thanks. No," because I needed to digest it first and take it in and speak to my agent. And also, you know, it was very gritty EastEnders then. And it covered a lot of socialist issues. You know, it was a bit more sort of kitchen sink drama. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was, you know, it was a great, and I don't think soap has a bit of a stigma. Let's face it, it does. And people can be slightly a bit like, "Oh God," you know, soap. They're still a bit like that. Not as bad as they used to.
Really?
Yeah, but in the beginning they weren't. What I'm saying is in the beginning it wasn't like that.
No.
And then she said to me, "I just want to tell you, your life is going to change. It's going to really change your life. Are you prepared for that?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, really? Is it?" And of course, I didn't realise how much my life was going to change. And do you know what? She was totally right. And it did change my life. From literally the moment I was on screen, I was getting fan letters. I mean, it was the most bizarre thing. Yeah. And I had such a great time with people like Gary McDonald and, you know, there was just some great young actors in those days. And then my 11 episodes came up, and I was in a very good agent, a notorious agent called Michael Foster. And I've been working a lot, and I've just done a Cynthia Payne personal services film with Julie Walters. And, you know, I was sort of on a bit of a roll. And I said, "They want me to stay." And he said, "Oh, no, I don't think you should stay. I think you should go." And I said, "But I love it. I want to stay." And I did. Yeah. So you sort of think, sometimes I think, what would my life have been like if I hadn't have stayed? You know, that sliding door sort of moment. Anyway, I stayed. I stayed for a couple of years. And Cindy became huge. That whole storyline was massive. And it did change my life completely, actually. Sometimes, you know, mixed. It was very mixed. Because you literally, you know, the press, it was a massive invasion into your personal life, actually. And I think a lot of people, and I was glad I was 26 when I went into it, and I was glad that, you know, I was quite an experienced actor, and because I think it's hard for a lot of younger actors who go into it and who can't quite cope with it, you know. And then I left for about 1.5 years, and then I went back again. And so in all, and then I left finally in 97, 96, 97. So it was a huge part of my life, you know, a massive part of my life. And I think I don't think I will ever shake off Cindy Beale. I think it's a really tough.
Yeah. And I know everyone calls you Cindy Beale, don't they? Even though you've been in Coronation Street.
I know, yeah, and I've done lots of other stuff, Sue. You know, I've worked solidly in lots of other dramas, and 2008 to Sky.
In Scotland, wasn't there, with Paul Kay?
That was, I loved 2008 to Sky.
Yeah, that was really good.
And Sunburn and Daylight Robbery and Real Women, tons of stuff. But you know, there's not a single day that goes by that someone doesn't go, "Oh, Cindy, all right, Cindy." Honestly, I can't tell you. And I'd go, "Well, you know, I've got to dye my hair. I can't have short hair because I look like Cindy." It doesn't matter. If I had green hair, they would still recognise me as Cindy. You know, and it's that, you know, people say, "Oh, well, dye your hair, you know, reinvent yourself." I get, it's too late to reinvent myself now. I am who I am. And I suppose in some ways, also what I think in those days, there were only 4 channels, you know. And so we had 19, 20 million people watching.
How many people watch it now? Not that many, is it?
No, I think on average,
I haven't watched it for years.
4 million, I think, and also don't forget, we've got so many other channels. We've got streaming. We've got Netflix. I mean, my daughter doesn't even have a telly, you know, because they can't pay the license. They don't pay the license. They have Netflix and everything else, but they stream all their TV, don't they?
Yeah.
So terrestrial TV is going to be a thing of the past, I think. But so I say that, you know, I'm still struggling to shake off Cindy, but I don't think it's ever going to happen.
But what was I can't even remember your character in Coronation Street. What were you called in that?
She was called Stella Price. Yeah.
And was that different?
And I got a lot of stick for that. And a lot of people were really quite nasty about me getting that role and said it should have gone to a northerner. And I don't know. It was one of those things. I was so well known, even though there was a gap of 20 odd years.
Yeah.
I think people couldn't accept the fact that was that Cindy playing that. She's in the Rover's Return and she's playing that, you know, it's like, I don't know. But it was fun. I only did Corrie for 3 years. So,
yeah.
You know what? At least I got to be the landlady of the Rovers, which is, you know, a great thing to have played.
Of course it is. I'd be thrilled to be the landlady of the Rovers.
Yeah.
I went to the Rovers.
Have you?
Oh, yeah, because I went with Jonathan Harvey and Damon.
Did you go to the old set or the new set?
I think it was the middling set.
So
not the one at...
The new set is Salford Quays. It's on
it wasn't that one.
Okay, so that was the best set. You went to the one that I was in, the one that had all the peeling off wallpaper and all the pictures of all the. It looked a bit run down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was great, wasn't it?
I had a lovely time. I met Steve MacDonald. Oh, I was thrilled. I stood in the cabin.
Do you know? I remember I was serving behind the pub, and Derek Jacobi is Sir Derek Jacobi is a massive fan of Coronation Street.
Yeah.
And someone told me he was coming in one day with his husband Richard, and I was like, "Oh my God, Sir Derek's coming in, Sir Derek!" You know, and they were going to put him in. He was going to be an extra, which he was. And most of the young cast said, "Who's Derek? Who's Derek Jacobi? Never heard of him."
Oh.
And you were like, "What?" But I remember it was awful because he came in. They ordered a couple of pints, and they were standing in the bar, and I can't remember the actor that was in at the time, but they couldn't remember their lines, and I was like, oh no, so we had to keep on doing it over and over again. And I think poor Derek ended up standing there for about 2 hours with a half pint of lager.
Oh no.
But he loved it. I mean, this was like everybody loved going and being there and seeing the set, and you know, it's brilliant. We've all grown up with it, haven't we? It's part of it's an institution.
Well, I always blame my mother because she wouldn't really let us watch ITV when we were children. I don't know why. I don't know. She was a bit snobby, so we were never allowed to watch Coronation Street. I didn't know what it was like.
You had things like bouquet, barbed wire, and all that sort of trashy stuff, I suppose.
And then we went to when I went to college, everyone just every evening all just sat round in the common room to watch Coronation Street.
What college did you
go to? Oh, it was boring old college in Watford. And I went...
In where?
Watford. Imagine.
Is that where you're from?
No. I don't really know where I'm from, but I didn't live far from Watford at one point. But
my daughter was born in Watford General.
I don't know. Pardon?
My daughter was born in Watford General.
Oh, was she? Did you live near Watford then?
No, I lived in North London. I lived in Muswell Hill, but because I was working on EastEnders and I worked up until I was nearly 8 months pregnant. I was heavily pregnant. So that was the nearest hospital.
Were you in EastEnders?
Yeah, I was doing EastEnders at the time.
No, but you weren't meant to, Cindy wasn't pregnant, was she?
No, but what...
the shopping bag.
I had a massive bag, which they still use. I like to think I set a precedent for actresses who can be pregnant. I had a very high ironing board. It was like up there. Cindy did a lot of ironing.
Yeah, to cover it up.
And, but I remember being absolutely exhausted just doing these really... I was supposed to leave, I think, when I was 7 months. And I ended up leaving when I was 8 months pregnant. And it was tough. It was really tough.
And what's your daughter? She's left university, hasn't she?
She's an actress now.
Oh, she's actressing as well.
An actor, yeah. She did. So she did history at university. Got a first, And she always liked acting, but I think she was always a bit like, oh, well, I'm not going to do it because my mum's an actor. You know, I'm not going to do it. I'll do something. So I'm sort of glad she did a proper degree, you know. Yeah. And then she did the National Youth Theatre in the summer and got the bug. And so, yeah, now she does a lot of writing herself, stand up. She's done a few plays in London, in Bath, Bristol. So she's just starting out, and I think it's really sad for her, actually, because she's just starting out. And I think, you know, she was just starting to get on the ladder a bit, and obviously it's all sort of stopped. So I hope she doesn't lose faith, you know, and get... It's difficult, isn't it, you know? But it's always been a precarious industry, so... But I think if you want to do it, and you've got it in your soul, you need to do it. Do you know what I mean? And I remember when I told my school I wanted to be an actress, and my careers teacher, she told me, oh, you know, oh, don't be silly. You can't. No, you can't be an actress. That's ridiculous. You know, be something proper, like a teacher or a nurse or a doctor, which are great, you know, professions. Yeah. But I wasn't particularly that academic, and the thing what I didn't like, what she said, was to have something to fall back on. And to me, that was almost giving up before I started. True. But now, if somebody said they want to be an actor, the first thing I would say was have something to fall back on. Yeah. Because
but not waiting or working in a pub.
Yeah, we've got to have something. I mean, haven't you? I mean, or if you want to write, I mean, how many writers can say they can write full time? Not that many. You're quite privileged to be able to just write all the time or act all the time.
But can I just mention what you do as well, that I gave a talk at your because you don't just do acting, you really try and help other people as well, and you're Women in the Media. Can you tell people about that?
Women in Media Networking Group. In fact, I've been doing it for nearly 5 years now, and I do that at the H Club, formerly the Hospital Club. And I started it just for women to connect, women who felt they weren't networking enough in the industry, women who felt isolated, just, you know, like a sort of a drop-in group. And it's gone really well. I do it every month on a Sunday late morning for a couple of hours. I get brilliant guest speakers like you did one. You know, we've just done one on a Zoom, which people were really thankful for, because I think a lot of women live on their own as well, and they're feeling very, you know, disconnected from people. Yeah. So people were really happy to do it, and we've had some brilliant speakers. Obviously, you, Josie Rourke, Amara Sante, Tracy Brabin, Sheila Hancock.
Very good.
Shazia Mirza, Shafi Kosandi. I think Joe Brand might be our next one. It's been really good, and I love it. And I have such a great... people don't come all the time. They dip in and out. You know, some of them are working. Oh, June Sarpong. We had June Sarpong. She was great. And it's totally non-profit making. Nobody makes any money. And we only charge £10. That's for coffee and croissants. And I think that's really good these days, because a lot of these members clubs charge people fortunes to come and see speakers. And you never get that intimacy where you can actually ask them questions and things. So I think, and I love it. To me, it's just, I love it.
I loved it when I was there.
Yeah, people loved you, didn't they? They really loved you.
What I love is when they came up to me and went, "Thanks for telling us it's all right to be lazy." There was this one woman, I think she worked every hour that God sends. She went, "Oh, I need a break." I go, "Yeah, just." I don't like to work too much.
You were very honest and candid and frank, and I think people, and that's what's good about most, because we don't film it or anything, and I think that's a really good thing. So people are very different when they know something's being filmed, or it's going to be like a podcast. They're much more mindful, and that's fair enough. I get that. They're much more mindful of what they say. Whereas if they know it's in a safe space, that safe space, and in a group where it's not going to get out, they're much more honest and open.
Yeah. And we've only got 10 minutes left of posing.
Really? Oh, good. Because I think I'm going to go quick,
didn't it? So, actually, everyone.
That's why I picked this position, because it's actually quite a good.
It's lovely.
good position because I can stretch my back.
Yeah, but if you can send your pictures in to Isolation Station Hastings via Facebook Messenger, and then we'll see them all at the end. That's my favourite bit, seeing the pictures. I love it.
Can I buy one, Sue? The one I like?
Sure, well, I expect if someone's really nice, they might let you have it. Because I think they'd be thrilled. I can do negotiations with people.
Well, let's do a little negotiation. I'd like to pay something for it.
Well, maybe to charity, eh?
Why don't we do that? That's a much. I will donate. Yeah. Whoever the best one is, I'll donate £100 to a charity of your choice.
Oh, that's so generous of you. And you're not even getting paid for doing this.
No, it's fun. Got to have a nice afternoon chat with you.
I know, I love it. Because it's rare that you have an hour's. I've never had an hour chat with you, I don't think, before.
I know.
I know. Thrilling. I haven't told everyone who next week's model is yet. I'll wait for...
Oh, can you tell me?
Yeah, you know him. Everyone. Fat Tony.
Is it?
Yeah. So people watching, if you've never heard of Fat Tony, I've known him since he was 15, and he's sort of a London club legend, really. But he got heavily into drugs and was a terrible drug addict. But he pulled himself out of it, and he was like Boy George's best friend, and he's got Boy George out of the drugs and lots of other people, and he's like runs, of
well, he's a legend, like really, isn't Fat Tony? He's a legend. Not even our generation. I also think a lot of people know him because he's sort of, he's with Kate Moss a lot, isn't he? But he was with Kate Moss a lot. He got her off. Yeah, he did, didn't he?
And he's very frank and likes the gossip, so you'll enjoy that next week, everyone, because he's a terrible name dropper as well, so it's great entertainment. I like that in a person.
Oh, that'd be good. So maybe I'll have to dip into that one and do my first scoring.
Yeah, you do. Because though he is called Fat Tony, he's not even fat.
I know.
Probably he was when I first met him when he was 15. He was chubby, but then I suppose when you reckon,
I don't remember him being fat either, and I've known him a long time as well.
Yeah, but I imagine if you reckon you've spent £1 million on cocaine, you might have lost a bit of weight.
That's true. God. Oh, that'll be exciting. I'm sure people will be.
That's good next week. And yes, we've got 8 minutes left. The time just goes by so quick.
Oh, I should also say, so I've got something coming out on Acorn TV.
Oh, please, that's what I was going to say.
Streamlining service, it's called The Queens of Mystery, and it's a sort of murder mystery with 4 female leads who are the sort of sleuths. Julie Graham, Siobhan Redmond, and I did 2 episodes. Myself, Frances Barber, who's great fun. You should get Frances. She'd be great fun for this.
Oh yes, I've met her a few times. She's hilarious.
She's very good friends with Jonathan, because obviously, did you see Music, her one-woman show?
No, I didn't, but my sister did.
It was fab, actually.
My sister went to Edinburgh to see it.
Yeah, so it was on here, actually, the Leicester Square Theatre, which Jonathan wrote, and the music for the Pet Shop Boys. Anyway, so it's called Queens of Mysteries, and it's about a sort of female sleuths turned detectives. Yeah. And it's sort of like, I suppose, Murder, She Wrote meets Miss Marple, meets Midsummer Murders, meets Poirot, meets Vera, that sort of thing. But it's very tongue-in-cheek. It's Juliet Stevenson does the voiceover. So it's fun, it's quirky, it's very different.
Oh, it sounds good.
And so Acorn, it was out in America last year. So Acorn was launched over there, and now literally they've just launched it this weekend. My episodes start tonight, the 4th of May. And so you streamline. I think they're doing an offer at the moment where it's like free for 30 days or something. And I play an ex-80s pop star called Electra Bliss.
Oh, it sounds right up my
Who's a bit of a diva, and they have a reunion to go into a recording studio. And and Electra's a real narcissistic, typical sort of 80s diva. Diva. Yeah. And turns up in this limo, and she's not actually that talented at all. She thinks she still is, and she thinks she's still really famous, but she's not really. Anyway, there's a murder. A murder takes place, and it's sort of, becomes a whodunit, and it's really good fun, actually. So if anyone is interested, that's Acorn TV, The Queens of Mystery.
Oh, is it as good as Father Brown? One of my favourites.
Oh, I know. I love Father Brown. I think it's in the same sort of genre as Father
Yeah,
Brown. It's very fun. It's funny. It's not
I
an
love
out and
the.
out comedy, but there are
Yeah,
comedic moments, and it's done very stylish. Like at the end of a scene, something very strange will happen, or
yeah,
somebody who's dead will pop up, and you'll go, "Weren't they supposed to be dead?" You know, and then
yeah.
it carries on. So it's very interesting and different. Um,
Oh, I
so I
find that.
think we did 3 episodes, which they then made into 6. So they split them into half hours. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
worth giving it a go. And yeah, just so in fact, Electra Bliss, guess what her real name is?
What?
Sue.
Oh,
Sue
is
Tilley.
it? Oh, how
Yeah.
exciting for her. The dullest
Yes, there you
name in
go.
the history of the world. I was moaning at my mum yesterday for giving me such a dull name.
I
Oh, well.
hate my name as well. But
It's
I was named after
nicer, nicer
what?
than Sue. Sue.
No, I don't know. But you know, I was named after my mum's best friend's daughter. I mean, how
Oh,
silly is that? No, does
oh,
anyone like their name?
no answer.
But Electra Bliss is a bit of a name, isn't it? Really, but it was fun doing that. I got to wear nice costumes and things, and Frankie was good fun, and Con O'Neill, he's in it. So yeah, that's fun.
Who?
Con
Connor.
O'Neill, do you know Con O'Neill, Liverpudlian actor?
Might
I
do.
think he's. Oh, I'm sure a lot of people out there will know. He's our sort of age group. He's been around a long time.
Oh, yeah. Knocking
Put it
on.
that way. So, you know, hopefully we can get Motorhome Marilyn off the ground. We did a Zoom reading of it when we're just about to do a 3rd draft. So I'm
Yeah.
going to see what I can do. But it's such a great story, and I hope I can get it out there.
I hope you can as well. What we got? We've got 4 more minutes of chit chat.
Oh, does
4
anyone
more
else
minutes.
want to ask any questions? They're very quiet.
I know. Let me have a look on here, see if I can see any. Oh, my friend Karen, she says she hates her name because Karen are that kind of person, aren't they? Then Sharon Worthington says she hates her name.
Well, we were Sharon and Michelle. I've known her for years and years, like Sharon and Michelle in EastEnders. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Sharon is not a Sharon at all, actually. I'd never put her down as a Sharon. But yeah, I think most people hate their names unless they change them. And some people do change them, don't they?
Yeah. See if I can find any questions. Oh, someone wants to know how you got on with Wilmot Brown, who ran the wine bar. Did you ever have an affair with him in it?
No.
Oh, you didn't? And I got confused who had affairs with who.
No, I never had an affair with Wilmot Brown. Wasn't Wilmot Brown the character that supposedly, allegedly raped Kathy Beale?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He had a wine bar, didn't he? I didn't have much to do with Wilmot Brown, to be honest with you. I can't even remember the name of the actor. I remember him being a nice guy, but I think it's very unfortunate when you play a role like that, you know, in a big soap, when you play a supposed rapist. I think he found it quite tough, you know. Because,
yeah, it might stick with you, mightn't it? Now,
yes.
I've got, because David Daniel Wilkie, his birthday, so I'm going to ask you his question. What would your dream part be? Or she saw someone else portray that she would like to do her own take on. Yes. Yeah, so also, yeah, what was your dream part, or a part you've seen someone else do you'd like to do yourself?
Oh wow. I've always wanted to play Stella in Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to play Nancy and Oliver.
Oh,
now,
that'd be fantastic.
I would say, oh, am I too old? But you know what? I don't think we should say we're too old anymore, because I think that's really silly. Age really is irrelevant, and especially on the stage, I don't think it matters. So I'd love to play Stella, Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once met Lionel Barr, and he asked me to audition for Nancy when they did when it came back. I didn't get it, but anyway, never mind. What else? Oh, I'd love to play. I don't know. I'd love to have done a sort of a Jane Tennyson, you know, Prime Suspect, Helen Mirren. That sort of role.
I tell you who lives here, Amanda Burton. You know, from Silent
Yes, I know. I heard that actually.
Yeah, she lives here. She's lovely.
I've never worked with Amanda. We did a shoot for a Radio Times cover once, and she stole my costume. That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm saying, Sue. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, Robin Bruce, he must obviously know Wilmot Brown. He says it killed his career stone dead, and people
Right.
used to spit at him in the street for
Oh
years.
my God! See, I told you, it's
I
really
know.
tough if you play a role like that. I wonder whether he must have given it up. I reckon.
Yeah, how upsetting.
I remember there was an actor called Stephen Hartley, who's actually my a friend on Facebook, who I knew years ago, and he played. There was. Do you remember? Do you remember Carmel, played by Judith Jacobs? Carmel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And she was a black character, and he was a white male, and it was a domestic abuse storyline. He used to beat her up, and my God, when he used to go out, he used to get attacked all the time because people were like really thought that he was this wife beater, and it's like, oh, come on. So I think he really struggled afterwards as well.
Yeah. Oh, someone here says you've got beautiful hands.
Seriously? Oh, my hands are a mess. They are.
Jennifer Walker. I think that she does embroidery, that lady. I think it's the right one.
Really? Oh my God. My hands, I haven't had my nails done in so long. They've gone to pot. And you know, I have this sort of dodgy finger, which I don't know if you can see, Sue.
No,
I have
not
like half a finger on my right hand.
What happened to it?
It got cut off in a door. Someone slammed the door.
Was that really frightening?
It was awful. It was terrible. Yeah. It was a friend did it actually. Yeah, and it was obviously an accident, and it was but it was awful. And because we didn't know whether they could save my finger or not, it actually came clean off. And my mum managed to put it back together again in the gravy bowl on ice. And
my God!
They sewed it back on again, but they weren't sure whether it was going to take. Yeah, and I didn't actually properly work for about 6 months after that because I couldn't move my finger. I couldn't do anything. Yeah, I was about 22 when that happened. Yeah, but it's amazing.
What's her name? Daryl Hannah. She's got a false finger, isn't she?
Has she?
Yeah, so I'd stick it on and off.
Oh God! Well, it's amazing the amount of people that don't know. But I tell you, kids are amazing because kids go, "Ugh, what's wrong with your finger? What's that?" They're just so open, aren't they? They don't care what they say. Whereas most people, they stare at it, but they don't really say anything. Anyway, so it's there, and I'm used to it, and it's me, part of me.
Yeah, who cares? What I was saying, we've had an hour, so I think what we need now is to have some of the pictures come up. This is exciting. Can you see your screen?
Can I move now?
Yeah, get nearer if you want the screen. You can see your pictures. Oh, bless you. Thanks.
Oh my God! So should I come out and have a look?
Yeah, but I don't know where if they're going to come up on here.
No, I won't be able to. Well, I'll have to look after, won't I?
No, I think they'll come up on here. You're the camera that's facing you. Look at it. And they'll come up. You know the camera that was filming you?
Yes.
They'll come up on there.
Will they?
Whose is that? Can you see them?
No, I can't see a thing.
Is there
a way that they can go into a gallery so I can see them?
Oh yeah, they will at the end, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're looking at the film, if you're looking at StreamYard, you should be able to see them because I can.
No, I can't. I'll have to go the other side. I'm not very techy. Oh my God, I can see now.
Yes. Oh, that's lovely. We don't know who they're by. Nice. That person always drives with an orange felt pen.
Interesting.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, you turned into a boat. That's lovely.
That's good.
Yeah, lovely. Oh, that's brilliant. Wow.
Who's that? That's very good. I like that.
That might be my friend Karen, I think. Looks like her work. Not Oh, that's good.
Wow.
Oh, lovely. Oh, the circle was such a good idea.
Wasn't it?
Oh, that's got our chit chat on it as well.
I like that. God, they're really talented, these people.
Oh, that's a collage. Brilliant. Oh, that's
interesting.
Lovely. Nice.
Oh, they're all very different, aren't they? Very,
you'll be amazed. Oh,
I like good. That.
People drawing the same thing, but they're so different.
Great. Wow. So will you do like a little gallery of them then?
Yeah, the gallery will come up and then you can choose and then you can negotiate about their charity.
Okay,
Oh,
we'll
that's
do
so
it.
lovely of you.
That's okay. Well, I hope that was enjoyable. I had a good time. It was fun.
Oh, good. So people still want to know how to post your pictures. Go onto Facebook Messenger and type in Hastings Isolation Station and then just send them. If all else fails, you can send them to me, but I'd rather you send them to Isolation Station Hastings. So that's good. Oh, thank you so much, Michelle. That's been so lovely. I've enjoyed it so much. I
Oh,
found
and you.
so much about you.
Oh, and I'm going to come and see you, Sue, when it's all over. See you
Oh,
in
good. And you
Yvette.
can meet Sarah Jane,
And
David
come to
Brayshaw,
Waves
Claudia,
Pub.
and Yvette. Yeah, it'll be marvellous.
Oh, I can't wait. So I have to come on to Isolation Hastings tonight and look at the gallery, yeah?
Yeah, or it'll be up before then because Katie's very quick. Or I'll email it to you. You'll
Well,
love
thank
it.
you for having me. It's
It's
been
been a
really
lovely
fun,
pleasure.
and I feel honoured to be asked.
Oh no, I was thrilled to have you here. Thrilled.
Oh.
And what was I going to say? Remember, next week, everyone, 3:00 the same with the hilarious Fat Tony. Oh look, people are sending their thanks.
Oh.
Thanks, Jennifer.
Bye.
Thanks, Adam White. Thanks, Mr. Ted Walker. I hope you've drawn. Thanks, David Cabaret. Thanks, Jojo. Happy birthday, Jojo.
So some people just look in, do they, and they don't paint?
Yeah, they just listen. But most people do a little drawing. Then they get embarrassed and don't want to send it. But I say send them because it doesn't matter what you think. They're wonderful.
No.
Thanks,
It's a great way of doing interviews as well, I think, isn't it?
I know. Yeah. Because it like passes the time. And I don't feel...
Has everyone been chatty?
Yeah, oh yeah. Can't shut them up. And I make sure I don't ask shy people.
I don't normally wear this red lipstick, by the way, but I thought, red was good with the red trousers. And I
love red lipstick. Bye, Princess Julia. I love red lipstick. Bye. Bye. Look, they're all saying, bye, Richard.
Bye.
Thanks for the banter. Bye, Karen. Bye. Bye, Amanda Brown.
Bye, Mandy.
Bye, Karen Alexander. Bye, Kim Whitmore. Bye, Debbie Darling. All my old friends.
Oh.